Aloha kakahiaka kako. We'd like to thank everyone for making their way here today to celebrate Uncle Roy, China, Isamu, UEMURA'S life. Uncle Warren, and Uncle Bruce, if you folks would like to begin with the poop. Mahalo. Mahalo. Today, here, Saturday, March 4th, 2023, we're celebrating the life of Uncle China Omura, a great man, father, has been a son, uncle, and a best friend to many of us here in Hawaii and around the world. And it brings great pleasure for us to be here to remember the amazing accomplishments and achievements that he's done, and to celebrate here with his family. We're here at Ala Moana Beach Park, a place where he spent a lot of time out here in the ocean and on the land, sharing aloha and sharing surfing with friends and family, as well as people that he didn't know. So thank you all for coming today. First up, I'd like to bring up Pastor John Miller. Pastor John is from the Wahiawa Community Church, and he'd like to say some things and open with a prayer for us.
Aloha, family, guests. Let's pray. Dear precious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this life. China. It's apparent that proud to touch many people. I pray that you with the family today that they will gain strength from hearing the stories and seeing the laughter, and you will have compassion and mercy on the morning. Because it is sad as passing, as joyful as you went, but it's going to be so missed here. May your face shine upon us. May your mercy and grace and compassion be with us. In Jesus' name, amen. So Pastor Lori was supposed to bring an education, and she had an anniversary last night. She couldn't make it. So he asked me to read this for you. She's from the New Hope Wahiawa Church. She says, Aloha, friends and family. I'm calling for attending today to celebrate the life of Roy, to share your joys and pain with his family. I pray the Lord will bless you and keep you today, and he will make his face shine upon you and be gracious. I'm sorry I could not attend and celebrate Roy's service. As we say celebrate, take nothing away from anyone this season mourning. It has been said that mourning is the cost of loving. To celebrate is to sit in gratitude of that opportunity to love. So today let us cry and laugh together. Each of us came with our own impression of Roy's life. As we share in celebration, we gain a little more insight into the fullness of his life. This is Pastor Roy speaking again. I had the privilege of meeting Roy when he first began with Celebrate Recovery in Wahiawa. I am grateful to have been one of his pastors and friends, and for the opportunity to watch him grow in his relationship with Jesus. I'll always remember his heart of love and consideration for others. He was old school, and he knew it. And so did everyone else. We would often kid about how he was akamai and humble. It was true because he was smart and humble. It was a great joy to see the joy that entered into his life when he received Jesus as his Lord and Savior. After Roy was on a mission to see everyone have a relationship with Jesus. It was clear the three most important things in his life were his kids and grandkids, his extended ohana and Jesus. He had something good he wanted everyone to have. I know that continues to be his heart today, that folks would come to know Jesus. He once told me he met Jesus, and now he's free. I know him as China. I met China 4 years ago. He walked into the Waikiki Church of Nazarene, celebrate recovery. He came downstairs and did this. I don't believe in this God thing y'all are talking about. But I'll listen. And he listened and he kept coming back. And I think it was like the fourth or fifth or sixth week, he said, he went from this. He said, you guys are messed up like me, but you're happy. I want to know more about what's going on. So we had a lesson that talked about receiving Jesus Christ and He can free you from your past and give you a new life. And one day after the meeting, he went out in the parking lot and Brother John Smith led him to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. And I said, China, you need to get baptized. He said, I like water, let's do it. But he said, I'm afraid to speak. I can't speak in front of people. I said, you'll be okay. So we went down to the North Shore. He got baptized, and he started preaching. He was just witnessing about all the love God had given him and everything God had done in his life. It was so beautiful. Many times in ministry and church, we want to quit doing the things we're doing. But when you see the power of a changed life and a changed man, it's miraculous. And one of his favorite sayings was, we had this step that talked about taking daily inventory. And when you were wrong, promptly admitted it. And one of the verses was, if you think you're standing, be careful lest you fall. So he was always recognizing his potential as a human to fall. But I know for certain his life was faith in Jesus. I didn't know it before. I didn't know when he came into who he was. Found out later. Wow, look at your autograph. He was a man that came into a room seeking help. He opened his heart. I only knew him for a year, but I heard stories down in his heart, which connected me with him forever. He's part of my forever family. And I think he is with you. I want to leave this one last word with you. It says in Romans chapter 1:16, for I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it's the power of salvation. China was on a mission. Many of you may not know that he had his life transformed. He was on a mission. And he went out and he taught a lot of people how to know Jesus. And I'm sure he's in heaven. They're having a big surf contest up there with 100, 200-foot waves. And he's teaching the angels how to surf. But he is certainly, according to scriptures, in heaven. And those who know Jesus Christ will see him again. So if you don't know that today, you want to talk to somebody else, you want to talk to somebody else. But I want you to laugh, cry, be honored on China, hug the family, cry. It's okay to cry. It means we're human beings. Jesus wept. So cry, fellowship. God bless you and have a great day.
Thank you, Pastor John. That was a great testimony. Next up, we'd like to call... Actually, it's me. Sorry. Okay, so I'm here to read Uncle China's eulogy, and a really beautiful thing about this eulogy is actually a lot of it he wrote himself. He spent a lot of time reflecting on his life, his past, his blessings, and it's a real pleasure to be able to read this. Roy China Isamu Uemura was born on December 12, 1954 at Tripoli Hospital in Honolulu, Hawaii. His parents were Rachel and Mitsuo Uemura. He was the third of four children, Naomi, Clyde, China, and Nelson. He attended Clinton Elementary and Washington Intermediate School, where he graduated from Key High School in 1972. Uncle China was married twice and had three children from his first marriage. Leolani Aloha, who passed away as a baby, Kanoe Lani Kikoa. He is survived by his younger brother Nelson and his wife Donna. His children Kanoe Lani and husband Justin, Kikoa and his wife Carissa, and his grandchildren Cade, Emery, Loli, and Kaya. Growing up, Uncle China's sister Naomi helped raise him while his mom was away working. His dad was on deployment in Germany during this time. Naomi passed away when he was 12 years old, and that forever changed his life. The family moved to Mo'ili, where Uncle China would roam the streets with his friends and just did his own thing. He started boarding at Walls. Then he learned to longboard at Queens and slowly surfed all the breaks from Queens to Big Rights. And he never left. He was a true Big Rights guy and proud of that spot. Uncle China loved traveling. He traveled on a longboard professional tour. He toured with Uncle Reynolds, Auntie Rel, Uncle Kyoki, and Uncle Buff. He was grateful to Uncle Craig Sugihara and Kana Country Surf for being his original sponsor throughout life. In the late 70s, Uncle China was a guiding force in starting the Honolulu Longboard Surfing Association and hosts a club at Ship's Galley. I'm sure many of you remember those times and those stories. In 1993, he started China UEMURA'S annual Longboard Surfing Classic, which took place at Ku'io Beach and ran for over 34 years. He donated the proceeds to charities like Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Hawaii, Shriners Children's Hospital Hawaii, and the American Cancer Society. Over the years, he's contacted participants from all over the world. One fun fact about Uncle China's contest was, if you place sixth, you went home with the best prizes. Uncle China's contest was also known for rewarding students for their academic excellence by rewarding them with a brand new surfboard. In 1996, he started the annual Waikiki Surfing Classic, which benefited the Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Children and the Sex Abuse Treatment Center. The Waikiki contest ran for 30 years. That year, he also won the Eddie Aikau Waterman of the Year Award. Uncle China worked at many local businesses, like Fiberglass Works, where he managed and packed the boards. It was said that he was the best board packer around. He also worked at First Break Surf Shop, Pub Yoshinoki, Hoi Street Cafe, Magic Island Productions with the craft services. He also did security for surf contests on the South Shore. He worked with Auntie Mara at the City and County Parks and Rec. And he was also the warehouse manager for 808 Fire Protection. Uncle China enjoyed teaching stand-up paddle lessons for free here at Ala Moana Beach Park. For 3 years, Uncle China also held his annual Pokio fishing tournament for his friends, and everyone had a good time. In 2011, he started China UEMURA'S Surfing Foundation, and his motto was, "It's all about the kids surfing and making their dreams come true." Through his foundation, he helps support young surfers to cover their contest fees and travel expenses. Uncle China was inducted into the Dupahano Moku Hawaiian Waterman Hall of Fame in 2013 for being a longboard and stand-up paddle legend. In 2019, he moved to Wahiawa, where he lived with Kanoe and her family. He connected with Celebrate Recovery and Rehope Wahiawa. On December 1st, 2019, he got baptized. and God changed his life. In the last years of his life, he found joy in gardening and taking care of his fish. Uncle China passed away peacefully at home on January 6, 2023, where he is surrounded by his family and friends. We share the words written by Uncle China himself. Bottom out. When you hit rock bottom, seek God. Your life will change for good. He forgives whatever you've done in life. All you gotta do is believe. China Uemura. We love you, Uncle China. Next up, we have Uncle Oyaromori. Would you like to share some memories?
What, 1984?
You can say it. Here's Uncle Wanda, everyone.
1984, the first time.
Okay. Just gotta stop for it. Yeah.
You did good.
Just gotta stop for it.
Okay. I know the guys in the back no can hear me anyway. But people here can hear me. Okay. Well, anyway, hello everybody. Hello. You know, I hope I can choke. Okay. First thing, I represent the Honolulu Longboard Association. I speak to them. And that's planning. But first, we mahalo, kekoa, kaloi, Nelson, and ohana, putting this team together. So, this is the biggest celebration of life we ever had over here. And we had plenty already.
I hope you. They cannot hear in the back.
They can't hear me in the back. Okay. My voice is cracking glass, okay? Okay, so let me start with this. It was in the late 70s, I think. And he went on tour. Longboard surf, he was young. And he come back. He told me, everybody happy. And I think it was like 3 years doing this. And one of the brothers flew in here, and we were like, guys, right? It was a wild snow. And then he made club in 1981. He formed one surfing association. And what it was all the guys that surf over here, big right, concession, cards, and there was all these cliques. You know, not everybody got along with each other too. But he would do this, and he would get everybody together, about 30-something guys, and we made the club. And yeah. So we made the club. Okay. Anyway, we made the club. And in 1984, the first meet. Trying to make a name of himself. He went all over the United States winning turn. So anyway, the club went on Waikiki Beach. Oh, 8 in the morning. Make the stage. Heads. We had to do everything. First time we doing this too now. And then he had the best entertainment. Was good. Was a local style surf meet. That's what I saw. And then you know what? We had to bust the whole thing down. Put them aside. And next morning, 4 o'clock, put them back. That was how it used to be. But that's the thing that popular, I said. Yeah, professional guys doing this stuff. You know. Oh well. And you know, his surf piece was just going on, and it lasted for 34 years. But what's this about the surf meet? I think shoot on the head for that. What he did for the Waikikis. I remember in the early time when the Queen of Makaha, Rella, son, came down to surf. She was but in a generator. Check out. Yeah. And then, you know, years go by. And who pops out? Howling, gonna be some more. You know, promote women surfing like time. There's some more people. But you see what they should see too. And all the kids, the mini-hoodies and all that. And the motherfuckers, bring them down. And they all excited. And it's just surf clean. They straight up surf. And when they win, you win what? Surfboard? What trophy? And like couple big country bags with all the goodies inside. They're all happy. And that's what I thought was tails. So, all these kids today, they all big now. But I know that they all respect and love Uncle China. So they're going to pick it up for that one. Okay, the last thing I talk about is these over there. Didn't be planning to us. China was a guy that made the first celebration of life among the brotherhood and have the paddle out. Yeah. Because but it doesn't even market. It was like something. So the parents, all that stuff. And China talked about our father. We take the lead. We make leading. It's what we gotta do. And it happened. It's unreal, you know. And then when the language would die. And we did the same thing. China took our parents and we get the meeting. And this is what we're going to do. And that one, I swear, had about 300 people. Today we get 500 people here. The biggest ever. This doesn't happen in Ala Moana Beach. You see? Well, it started back then and all these days, everybody was so important. And Lang's brother, Shad, had bought this small fig tree, but you feet three branches on top. And we're gonna plant the tree for Lang's. So everybody in the club, he would bring the kind of falling white and put it in a hole. Everybody would take turn and pick the lava, and then put the tree. And as the tree, you see the bigger tree now, what? That became the memorial tree, Lang's memorial tree. Put a plaque up there. Lang was never said. But then everybody else started dying. You know, this is sad too because we were still young. You know, in the 40s and it just happened. Brother Reed, until everybody, so much we were losing. And as of today, my count, we get 24 spirits in that tree, the Moana tree. And the most recent, back a year or so, was Makusaka, Andy, Hans Kane, Sister Tammy, the Moana, Brother Sal, Akau, and Brother Cindy again. And China now we join the guys. So that's 24 people. And the tree is 21 years old today. And every year, 21 years, and we all gather at that tree on the Marathon Day and have a blessing. All those that pass. We do it today at the club. It's getting smaller. But we have friends, club friends, and you know, we have people have very good luck and shit. The blessing. So I like recognize him for being a leader and comforting the families and the friends, relatives of the person, and put out celebration life. Not everybody can do that. So I tell you, that was one of his greatness. But it's aloha. He would share family and they need everything and stuff. So we're going to big hand for that one. I don't sing anymore. We were the party guys. We were hundreds of parties. China, we make parties. Okay? We had hundreds of them. And then we had picnics over here with all the ohana. Because our kids got to meet everybody else's kids. And we do that every weekend. 7 o'clock to, you gotta go to 10:30 already. So that means you gotta see the kids 2 times in the day. Well, anyway, let's have a hand for China's parties. Yeah. It's the last thing I like to say. Okay, no, I seriously listen. You know, I make everybody make one toast. We cannot make one toast. We don't want the beer in our hand. And it's just like this. It's different now. So, I just like people in Hawaiian salute for brother. You know? So I like everybody stand up and face the tree. Okay. And just repeat after me. Imua. Onipa. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Aloha, brother China. Thank you very kindly, everybody. And one more thing.
Thank you.
Okay.
One more round of applause for Uncle Wendell. Thank you, Uncle. Next up, could we have Uncle Manny and Dwayne DeSoto come up and share a few words? Thank you.
Aloha. Aloha hiaka. All right, China. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take this thing back to the 70s. I came from Hawaii when Levi Stanley was playing football at University of Hawaii already. So I got picked by Larry Price to go to over there too. And so we ended up, me and Levi, and we were still brothers from Hawaii, you know. And to tell you the truth, I met China through Levi Stanley. It was at Varsity Avenue, right across Varsity Theater by Blue Goose. You guys know where Blue Goose is, come on. We used to run that place, you know that, right? Hey, you guys kind of act like that, you know. So anyway, Levi and China was living upstairs, and me and Colton Song, who my brother just, we left him to go to God about 3 weeks ago also, Colton Song. So we were upstairs, I finally met China, and Eddie Aikau was there with Levi. He was still trying to like, what girl he would try to check out, yeah? You guys can relate to him, you know what I mean? That's my brother now. He's married, the wife is bigger than him, so just calm down. But anyway, we met China. I met China. And then I know Eddie and everything, and then China comes up to me and say, how's it, brother Manny? My name China from Japan. This guy's serious or what? And you know, right there, I felt one kinship. Portuguese, wannabes. You know, boy, it was like around 1976, 77, like that. China showed me where to go, where all the Japanese hang out. So I felt real, you know, like accepted to Queen Surf, the Publix, the Isle of Wight Canal. I had the local knowledge, and he was from Kaimuki. I love China, Roy UEMURA. And when we didn't have the football season going on, he took me to a lot of the places to surf. Big Rights was one of them. And I go, wow, China over here is good. Yeah, man, but you see these guys, I don't like them around here. So what you think we do? I don't like to say anything that will incriminate me right now. You know. But I gotta tell you guys one story, and this thing is real close. We have this Buffalo Carolina Surf Classic that's been running for 40-something years. So China was known all over except Makaha, because he never come and surf buffaloes. And only the best comes to Buffalo Surf Club, contest. Okay? So he started, I said, come on, China, let's go. So the first year he goes, now you guys well know Buffalo is not off the lip, curl like that. You gotta do tricks. So in other words, you gotta think while you're surfing. That is hard for us Kanakas. Right there, it's like, it's a really burden already. So, and guess what? China, he only hang around Kanakas, right? So he goes to Macau and we go, China, just go out there. You got to do the Allen Ranch, the Uncle Grant's, the coffin, all these. He goes, what? No, that's only half. Let me tell you the rest. So he goes out, he surfs, he's waiting, the horn blows. He don't catch one wave the first year. He said, man, what I don't know what to do. I said, just do what I told you to do. I was trying to think and I missed the wave. So that year went passed by, so 2-3 years afterwards, I recall him, hey, China, you're a perfect buoy out there. You're an unreal buoy, bro. He was getting madder and he was getting salty. Now, you guys all know China can rip, but for thinking rip is hard. So I'm telling him, come here. I put him on the side. This is what you gotta do. Slow down. This thing. So little by little, by around the 5th year, he started making moves. And I go, wow, I'm impressed, bro. So around the 6th, 7th year, 7 years, bro. China, 7 years. He won the Buffaloes. He kicked butt. So I told him, from now on, you can come past Nanatori, the man who's gonna let you in. And they never bothered him ever since. But he cried that day like a baby. I feel him right now. Bobo! Bobos! I want to turn this thing over to my 2 sons.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks, Dad. Hello, my kako. It's a pleasure to be up here and talk about Uncle China. You know, Uncle China. These 2 guys, they would just rip each other so hard as I was growing up. The moments we had, just watching. You know, I got to fall asleep in the car many nights to their evenings, and it's you know, between my Uncle Bruce and my dad bringing me into Waikiki, hanging out with Uncle China, Uncle Gil, you know, seeing the Beach Boy scene back in the early 80s, it was something special, because to see it change over time, you realize, you know, it'll never be the same, and the people will never be the same. But Uncle China, you know, 9 years old, I did his contests. Back then it was the 29 and under division. And it was different, you know, it wasn't as many divisions, but went out there, it was half a foot, so I did really good because I was against all the men on these tiny little waves. You know, Kanoi and Keikoa running around. I remember, like, me and my buddy Ezra would just be like, no, I'm going to check out Kanoi. No, I'm going to check out Kanoi. You know, that kind of stuff. We were super young, yeah. We talked any kind. And the thing that Uncle China did was he made surfing super fun, and I won my first surfboard in that contest because I made the semis, and then out of the blue I got this blue Hawaii Tiger red striped Tiger rail mini tanker. And you know, back in those days, I mean, I think that was my first brand new board ever. And being able to do his contests every year from that time on, it was this beautiful connection between being from Makaha and going to Waikiki, and it was all good. You know, we had uncles and aunties, and everybody was a big family, and we just looked forward every summer. You know, I remember pulling up with Uncle Bruce, probably like 5 years old, to Uncle China's early events, and you could pull up to the wall back then, right on the edge of the sand, and had all these people sleeping on the wall. I don't know if you guys remember that. But they would all scatter like roaches once all of us would show up. And we were part of Waikiki. You know, even though we're from way out in Makaha, we were right there, and we got to be a part of the magic of what Waikiki offered the entire world for surfing. And you know, year after year, his influence, the people he brought to his contest came from all over the world, and really the surfing styles. I don't know if you got, you know, Ed Twistle, you remember him, Stuart Ed Twistle? You know, like fresh perspective on longboarding and surfing, and Uncle Reynolds Wright bouncing around in his Speedos. But he had an elephant one underneath this other one, and all kind of funny stuff, you know? And all oiled up. If you can imagine Uncle Reynolds all oiled up. Oh my goodness. Everybody came, and everybody wanted to come, and it was just beautiful over time, and just such a, you know, we all needed him to show us that we could be on the competitive level worldwide. You know, that was what he was showing us, that we have this opportunity to actually represent Hawaii all over the world. Yeah, because we were bringing these people together, even coming down from all over the world for him. And, you know, I remember he started up his stand-up lessons over here over time. He was always busy guy. And he had his shop over there by Sand Island where he was cooking. He never stopped. He was just always going, and always something going on. And I won this one, I think it was one of our pro contests, and I won, and it was one of the first times winning. And they were over on Ward over here at a bar. It's like 2 o'clock, yeah. I called up my dad. Yeah, Dad, I did good. Hey, come over here, Uncle China, guys. Oh, shoots. So I go over there, 2 o'clock, feeling like a champ. Walking there, they got the cigars going, and everything. He's got the crown with the cap gone. So I'm gonna partake, right? I'm gonna be a big dog today. You know, an hour later, I'm in the parking lot vomiting. Thought I was a big dog for about 45 minutes with these guys, and you know, it's just classic. You're watching these men be men, and I'll close out with this epic story. Me and my buddy Ez is walking around Waikiki, looking for these guys, and they were in a little bar restaurant underneath the outrigger. And we walk in there, and you know, Uncle China's talking smack, Dad's talking smack, bang, 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 bang. And Dad goes, you know, China, if any of my kids came out looking like you, I would kill them. And me and Ez looked at each other like, whoa. Well, they're laughing, right? So hey, we laughed too, but that was something as a younger, watching the level. So I took notes, you know, play with my friends like that, but it's definitely beautiful and hammer and kind and open and giving, and always just right here. Everybody gave to everybody, and made sure that we always knew that we were going to come together once a year at this beautiful contest, see the family and see each other and celebrate him surfing each other. So mahalo nui Uncle China, you know, for representing this place, representing these people, and forever and ever and ever be in our hearts and a reminder. He was aloha. So mahalo nui.
I'll just kind of keep it short and sweet, just like Uncle China. You know, the short jokes got passed around, but I just want to get us going and feel Uncle China with a little hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! And if you know the song, sing along. Hooray for China! Hooray at last! Hooray for China! He's a horse's ass. He's a horse's okole. Love you, Uncle China, so much. I love you guys.
Thank you to the Diesel Ohana, that's amazing. Oh, next up, can we get Uncle Craig Sugihara?
Testing. Can you hear me? Close to the mic. Closer? Okay, I'm the unwilling speaker that twisted my arm. This is more scary than getting caught inside a haliva. But then it's this song, I'm not going to sing it, but you'll understand. It's from the Beatman Brothers. We were friends who rode the waves, the times we spent in our younger days, oh, the good times that we made. We were young and we were fine to feel its spirit as it climbs. There's no regrets, only good times. We were friends in younger days, although we went our separate ways. You were my friend, you never turned away. Who can say what life will do? Life is kind to just a few. There's no regrets, only good times. Live your life the way you choose. Find the ones who laugh with you. Like the sea will find its way to shore. As the sun sinks from the sky, live your life and you will find there's no regrets, only good times. China. From amateur surfer to US champion, then on to pro surfing, and ended up as a creator of the best longboard surfing contest that we ever looked forward to. And this contest would always give back to the community. We all know that. As we all know, life is full of ups and downs, and China had the full ride. Whether you surfed with him, partied with him, or just knew him, he was a genuine giving person to a fault. To all of us who call him our friend, you know he got your back. To Brother China, we will all miss you. Cheers to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Craig Sugihara. Next up, we'd like to have Megan Godinez, Jody Clark, and Malia Kaleopa.
Aloha. Aloha maya oko. I'm Jody. I got wrangled up here by Carissa, Mahalo Carissa. But I would do it anyway because I love and have so much gratitude for Uncle China. Not only has he done so much for the community, his surf contests bring us together. We see everybody from the North Shore, from the West Side, the East Side, and he's basically responsible for me being able to see the world through surfing. I got to fundraise at one of his contests, and he matched what I made, and then he gave me a free surfboard on top of that to sell for spending money, and that's just who he is. So I will always mahalo him. I'll always be grateful for everything that he has done for not only the surfing community, but for women surfing, not just longboarding, women surfing. He basically made a surf contest for us. Shortboard, longboard, bodyboard, stand up when that came in, and team events. So he kind of pioneered a lot of that thing. He was really good at bringing people together through his contest. So I appreciate him so much for that. And fun fact, he used to have a bikini contest, right, at his event, and I was super young. And every year, either Uncle Reynolds used to win, or some other big brother, or Malia was a tiny little girl that won the contest. So I never realized that a bikini contest was won by like maybe girls sometimes. I always thought it was, when I went, there was another one we went to, I was like, oh, where's all the big uncles? Where's the big brothers? I didn't realize it was like a bikini contest for girls. Because Uncle Reynolds would always win in his red bikini bottom. So, Uncle China, I mahalo you for that. Open my eyes to new things. So, mahalo nui, mahalo to Kanoe and Kikoa. And in true Uncle China fashion, even though he's an ancestor, look, he brought us all together. This is really beautiful, proud. So mahalo nui, mahalo the UEMURA family. Hui ho.
Hi, I'm Megan. Oh, I gotta go after that. Okay. Uncle China, the man, the myth, legend, and now our guardian angel. Basically the man who started my surf career. The man who made the surf contest that gave me all my best friends. They're all around. He was one of the very first ones that saw the potential in my career and let me know it and reminded me all the time, and would look at me straight in the eye and be like, "Yeah, you better take these girls down." Okay, I'm only 12, but that's no pressure at all. You know, just the contest coordinator telling me take down people. Okay. My very first Pro-Am comp was at the Waikiki Wahine Classic, and it's where it all started, really, where I really met all my best friends who, what are we friends now? I lost track, I don't know, how many years?
Don't put my age out there. Like,
Oh, never mind, we're all young chickens, I guess. So, yeah. I was 14 years old, and I remember winning the Pro-Am division that year, and his words were, "Megan, the dark horse, I cannot wait to see you take longboarding near and far." 14 years old, I was like, I don't know why you call me a dark horse. I know I'm dark, but I don't know what that means. But I always remember those words. That year I also qualified for the longboard tour, and we got to travel all over the world because of him. And he did match my winnings. He gave me an extra $1,000 for traveling expenses, and at 14, $2,500. I was rich. I was ready to take on the world. I was like, yeah, you need musubis. I got you. Don't worry. You know? But as I got older, it wasn't the money that made me rich. It was the gestures of Uncle China that made me rich. It was the kind words that made me rich. It was his love that he projected out into the community that made all of us rich. Uncle China was the epitome of paying it forward and giving back to the community. He took the time to say hi to every single boy and girl from all faces of the earth. He always took time to say hi. He always stopped to say hi. And all I can do, along with the rest of us, is to try and live on his legacy, to pay it forward and give back to the community. So mahalo, Uncle China, for bringing us all together. And I know you're smiling down at every person in this crowd. And mahalo.
Hi, I'm Leah Kaleopa'a, also known as Ashley Saxman, or the little 6-year-old in the leopard print bikini in the bikini contest back in the day. So as I was reflecting on all the memories and moments that we've had with Uncle China over the years, my husband and I can sit for hours and talk about these memories, and I can share them with my parents as well as now my children. I had the hardest time settling on one to share with everyone today. But there was something that really stuck out to me, and it wasn't about these memories individually. It was rather about the life lessons that he intertwined into these memories and moments with us. Uncle Chana taught us these life lessons just by how he operated in the world and how he brought us in on those special moments. And so we'd like to leave you with a few lessons that our moments with him have taught us. Always give back to your community in any way that you can. Support and nurture your friendships, because your lifelong friends will be there with you for everything. And he wrote about this in his own obituary, so if this isn't proof that he's living in my mind, surf for fun. Winning isn't always the most important thing, because 6th place gets the best prizes. Mahalo UEMURA family for allowing us to share this day with you. Your dad meant so much to us, and I hope you all know that.
Mahalo, Jody, Megan, and Malia. Next up, we have Uncle Butch Pereira. He's gonna give us a closing pule.
Aloha. I'm giving a closing prayer in some closing talk. I'll start with a story that China told me not that long ago. And I was asking him, like, oh, when did you start surfing? And so he was telling me, and I was telling him, well, what about your first surfboards? And I think in the beginning he said he was borrowing boards. And then I was like, well, what about your first nice one? And he was saying that, I think he couldn't remember the brand, but he said, and I think it was that Surfline, for the old timers, if you remember down the street, was Surfline. And he said one day he went in there, and then I guess he was like checking out all the boards, and he said he took one off the rack and just acted like that was his and walked out. Right? And I was thinking about it, I'm going like, only he could get away with that. And he was one of a kind, no doubt. Right? And some things that I want to say, and a lot of stuff came out. I was thinking about him, and I was going that the word that kind of came in my mind was ambassador. Right, and a lot of guys like a legend, but legend is almost like too confining for who he was. And I think he really was an ambassador of aloha all over the world. Right? And I mean, probably not even possible to know how many people he influenced and affected, you know, way beyond Hawaii. And my greatest honor in being a friend with him was that day in 2019 out at Ala Beach Park when I helped another guy, me and him, baptize him. And he was this guy that was pretty notorious rascal. And you know, in kind of like a good way. I don't know, maybe some of you guys know all the dirt, but it must be. But, you know, I seen this guy who I'm guessing, and what little bit I know, most of you know a lot more about him than I know, that he been through thick and thin, right? He started off kind of down on the bottom, and he had his high points, his victories, and he had his defeats and all of his challenges. But that day, his life was changed, and he was, to me, like he had peace in his heart, and something for us to consider when we think about him, his life, all that he was, good and bad, right? Just like us here. We all got the same story, right? One way or another. Not as exciting as China's story. And, the Bible says, if any person is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old is passed away, and all things made new. So for China, all the things that they come and what they do is they dump them under, right? And the old China, the kind of like part not too good, gets drowned, right? And then he comes up. That's the meaning of baptism. When you come up, it's the new China. And I got the picture on my phone, and the smile is amazing. Like for him, like a new lease on life during, a really hard time in his life. For us, just like this, and I have talked at other memorials, and this whole day is in honor of a pretty amazing guy, and what he did with his life, and just his passion to help, kids, and especially the ones that kind of grew up like him. That's pretty amazing for him to accomplish all that he did. And but I want us to think about it, because this is a good time to think about him and to remember, right? And who he was, how he lived his life, the things that he accomplished, and the things that was the passion on his heart. In the Bible, it says to teach us to consider our mortality. Okay, so China's life, he was born, and he passed away. And that's everybody here. Look around. That's our story. That's going to be each one of us in our time, right? We don't know when that's going to be. It says to teach us to consider our mortality and help us to realize how quickly this life passes. And I always remind myself about that, because I was thinking, I wish I could call him Uncle China too, like Jason, but I'm actually 1 year older than him. So, and but you know what? When you get older, you have the benefit of hindsight, where maybe most of your life, is behind you already. And I'm kind of thinking, in because this is China's day, for each one of us, no matter what age you are. But when you're older, the end is closer than when you were younger. But for all of us, it's the same thing, that we don't want to waste the life that we have here. We don't want to go and get caught up in all kind of other stuff. And everyone, and I'm sure everybody here almost, been to a memorial service like this, right? And it's always the same. Everyone is always the same, and it comes down your whole life. You're the president of the United States, or you're nobody, or you're China. It all comes down. You know what I mean? And everybody here is connected to him. He touched everyone that's here. You know, look around how much people get. You know, and his life touched everybody. But we want to think about that with this guy, that he got this many people that are family and friends. And think about, we want our life to touch as many people as we can also. One thing that I wrote here, be like China. And just him, how he gave out what he had, he gave out. You know, and easy to, I do that all, I don't know if I'm not even remotely close to how he is so giving. And helping others, you know, going beyond what is even kind of like normal. That his whole life, even the rugged parts, made him into the man that he was, and kind of gave him almost like his calling with helping kids, and especially the ones that get in trouble like he was, right? So he used kind of the rugged parts of his life as his motivation and motivated him to do what he did. One of the things, and I know that he would want this for everybody, as China did, right? He was older, you're never too old to commit your life to the Lord like he did. And you don't have to be in trouble or rock bottom, you know. If you are, then that's a good time too. But when things are good, right? Our lives come down to what's right here. Your relationship with God, your relationship with your family, and your relationship with your friends. That's the most important things you can do in your life. Sometimes what happens, right, is that you're away. You're away, maybe today you're here, right? You heard what the pastor said in the beginning, and how China, like, somehow showed up at that church. And the message made sense to him and his life changed. Or maybe you're away from your family. Maybe there's some trouble there, you know, or your friends, some kind of trouble, and you're not talking to them, or there's, you know. But you know what? Today is a good day because we don't know if we got tomorrow. Right? We don't know if they got tomorrow. And if that's a couple of things that we do for China, consider the Lord and where you stand with God. And the second thing is, you know what? Appreciate your family and your friends. No trouble is worth not talking to each other. You know, not hard to patch it up. And you don't want to wait until they're gone. Okay? Why don't we pray? Lord, we thank you so much for China and, Lord, his life and just what was said today. And Lord, I'm sure that's just like a little part of this man and the life that he lived, the places that he went, the people that he affected and touched and helped. Lord, we do thank you that we can come here today and honor such a great guy. Lord, and we do pray that you would help us to not, you know, months from now forget about him and, you know, his accomplishments. Lord, we ask that you would work in our hearts and make us better. Lord, help us to rise above our situation as he did. Lord, and help us to be as giving as he was. Lord, we thank you that for each person that's come here, Lord, to join in and to be one group in honor of such a great God. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Mahalo, Uncle Butch, for that beautiful bullet and those lifelong lessons that Uncle China always left with us and for us to perpetuate. We have one more guest that wants to say a few words. Bonga, can you please come up?
Aloha kako. And what can you say about the man China Roy UEMURA? I know he seen a lot of people here that over the years came to his event, haven't come in a few years, came back. But I think this is a testament to what he did. Look at all of us right now. All the love for the UEMURA family, everyone. But just sharing some fun stories. This guy gave, there's a lot of surfers here. You guys seen them all come up. Started doing China's Longboard Classic from '83. I was fortunate to do the first one, and I know I missed a few of them along the years due to events that I had elsewhere. But my heart was always like, I want to do that thing every year. I was a big kid, but all the foundations and all the charity and all the work that he did to give back, and whether it's individual, as a group, as a community, man, amazing. Just absolutely amazing what one man and his family and friends can do. And I think that's what Hawaii needs right now. That 1 second to just say aloha to everybody. Don't take no time. And that's what we're missing today. So let's go on our day and just say aloha to one person. I think that makes a huge difference. But anyway, getting to some fun stories. I was blessed to be shown competitive surfing through China. But this guy would not take nothing back. Whether it's, like, yeah, he'll take your help, of course, but monetary stuff, like, hey, how can I repay you? Like, that guy was all hard. So when KeyHole was 16, I talked to his mom, I talked to China. I'm like, hey, let me take your son to Australia. I know you got a huge friend base there, and they never met him. They never met KeyHole. And then the thing with me was like, hey, KeyHole, you better get all your schoolwork together. You got to talk to your principals, or counselors, your teachers. Let's go do this, man. And that was my chance to get back to China, because his son was so talented. And why not? Because he did that for all of us. So if there's a little thing that I could do, is just take this kid with me and let him just crush everybody, which he did. He went to Australia and he's absolutely surfed his heart out, and it showed. He won everything. He was like the people's champ of Australia at that point, man. It was awesome. And everybody knew his dad, because we all know China has a lot of international friends that come down and do his events, come visit him. So that's my little way of at least, giving back to China in a nice way, especially something that he truly loved, which is the surf. And his son was right there, and one of my good friends, and to this very day. But another funny story, not another one, but a funny story is, I was in Japan one year, and KeyHole, being the champ, won a bunch of events, Japan Grand Champ, but they still didn't figure him out just yet. So we had a final together, and he borrowed my board. But before we went out together and just faced off, this the MC of the event came up to me and he asked me, "Oh, Bonga-san, I go to Hawaii many times. I do China's contest many times, but I don't know KeyHole. And quick question, why do they call China? He's Japanese." I'm like, I don't know if I can put it, I don't know if you would understand me if I told you the story with his broken English and my broken Japanese, but we started cracking up. And then he also asked me like, "Bonga-san, I hear you guys talking, and why do you call KeyHole Taco Neck?" I'm like, "Oh, brought a long story, but if you want it, you're gonna be on the, it was live feed, streaming around the world," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you one." So I told Toshi, like, "Hey Toshi, it's not taco like Japanese octopus." He's like, "Oh, it's like Mexican taco." And so he was all confused. He's like, "Mexican taco? Yeah, you know when you eat your taco, you gotta turn your head. And that's why everybody call him taco neck." Oh, okay. I was like, I got it. So they call us up for the finals, and I get to surf against one of my good friends. He's using my board. He bought the board from me because he broke his board. And the funniest thing throughout the whole event, every time KeyHole stood up and caught a wave, "Oh, taco neck," and the whole beach would just light up. All these Japanese would just light up. It was so funny, and I hope China was watching because, man, I was laughing in the heat. I could barely surf. So, long story short, KeyHole ended up winning on my board against me. But, the times like that, it's, comes back to his dad, because I think that's the only way that we relate, because my dad surfed with China and went to all the bars with all you guys' dads with China. Davy Jones' Locker, back in Kaka'ako, you name it. And so I was a product of that, and so is a lot of the young kids. And coming back to China to have fun with this guy, to bloodline, whether it was Kanoi or Kikoa or, man, I just want to thank him for the memories and for taking Hawaii surfing to where it is today, single-handedly. And we miss you, we love you, and mahalo everybody. And I'll do it for that. Don't forget to say aloha to somebody. 1 second.
Mahalo Bonga. And thank you everyone for all of your wonderful stories and your memories. For those of you that have any stories or memories, please write it down. Send us a letter, send us an email. We'd love to hear all of your stories and experiences beyond today. So mahalo. We have one bit of maintenance. All of the cars that are double parked, could you please move them? That's it. And also, lastly, we'd like to have Kuhula Lee James Howell. Lee is gonna help and go through how we're gonna close out today's ceremony. Oh, I'm sorry. We're actually gonna have the thank yous first. We're gonna have Kanoi and KeyHole. Thanks, Kanoi. Sorry.
Sorry. I know it's getting kind of long. So my dad actually wrote his own thank yous. And first of all, we'd like to mahalo all of you guys for just taking the time out of your busy schedules and coming here to celebrate him. Okay. This is from my dad. He would like to mahalo Craig and Linda Sugihara, my lifetime sponsor. Yuki of 88T's sponsored me 34 years, and a beautiful and wonderful lady. Aikau Ohana and foundation members, thank you so much. Gavin Hasigawa and Ohana, you are the best.
Leighton, Kopana, and Ohana on my back, bro, through the hard times and the good. And Uncle Craig Tengan, you were always there for me when I was in a deep ditch. Alan Hoshino, Roland Kurata, and the Bovos, our other fathers, Uncle Levi, Uncle Cal, Uncle Saul, Uncle Des, and of course Auntie Myra. But we also, so we like to thank everyone that's been, helping us with all of this. Mahalo for all your kind words, your prayers, just everything. Like it's so overwhelming, and we love all your stories that you guys have been telling us, that your special memories of my dad, how you met him, how he's touched your lives. So we'd like to thank all the city and county workers of Ala Moana Beach Park, Auntie Marie for being there with us through Dad's ending part of his life, Auntie Diana and Kiana for helping us get the permits, Wade for designing the program and flyer, Arian for making all the stickers and the banner, Bobby, Higa, and Kyle for the t-shirt and sticker design, Brady for doing the live stream, HawaiiGoLive.com, and Koch for flying in from San Diego to take all our pictures, Kevin and Kaipo for the sound, Rico from High Finest Graphics for printing all the shirts, Kumuhula Lijay Tao, and everyone that just shared all the special memories, Uncle Wendell, Uncle Craig, Uncle Manny, Dwayne, Megs, Jody, Malia, Pastor John, Uncle Butch, Banga, the Fujinaga Ohana from Wailua that's gonna feed us today, our family, the Okuhara Ohana for helping us with the sign-in tables, and everyone that had flown in from Japan, from the mainland, from the outer island. Mahalo so much. Like, you guys don't even know how much this day is, oh my gosh, I have like no words to express, but we just like to thank you guys so much, and please stay and, fellowship and, talk story. Dad just wanted this day to be a fun day with all his friends, his ohana, and just have fun at the place that he loved and surf, So please, we're gonna have lunch after too, so please stay.
All right, I'm just gonna share a few words, kind of from my perspective about that. It's been one hell of a ride, man, this guy. For a lot of you guys, especially the guys his age, the guys he used to run the streets with, you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know all the stories, so don't worry. But, man, this guy's been through the good, the bad, the ugly, and then back around again. I mean, he's been through it all, and, when he went in, when he fell at home and he got hurt, and the neighbor's kids found him, it was like, bro, you have like 100 lives. Because there's so many times throughout his life that something could have happened and he would have been gone a lot earlier. But thanks to Kanoe and Justin and the pastors, they got Dad. They introduced him to God, and he was able to to forgive a lot of the stuff that might have happened to him in the past and move on from anything that was stressing him out. But the last few days we had with him, more so in the hospital, because he could still talk then. You know, he would always tell me when I was either me or Kanoa in the hospital, alone with him, and he would always tell me, I'm so sorry. You know, he said, I've been such a bad dad. I wasn't there. But, you know, there is a lot of times where I wish when I was growing up that he was there, you know, maybe he was doing other stuff, but the thing with Dad is he spoke through his actions. Like you hear a lot of your guys' stories, everyone that came up. Everything we learn is from actions that we saw him just do naturally. And so I was trying to think of what to say, you know, I was like, okay, we gotta say something. I can't just say thank you, right? So I gotta say something. So I was like, okay, I gotta think of something. And all these memories coming through my head. And so I was like, okay. Dad was telling me sorry he wasn't there for me, you know, for a lot of times. And, you know, he had a lot of missed times with me and us growing up. But so I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna let him know three things that I learned from him without him actually teaching me, but just watching him whenever I was with him. I might be repeating myself because a lot of it was said already, but that only solidifies what I'm saying, that everyone else saw it too. So the first one is he had a lot of friends, obviously. I mean, if you look around, I don't even know how much people is here, but this is probably only maybe half of the people that, you know, would want to be here. Some people are overseas and could not be here. So every time I would travel, any place I would go, Japan, like Mongo was saying, Australia, guys would come up to me, oh, you're China's son? I was like, oh, yeah, oh, nice to meet you. You know, I know your dad. You know, he's such a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, right on. And after a while, it's just one of those things. Guys come up to you, oh, I know your father. Oh, right on. Like, oh, I know your father. Oh, right on. Like, and I'm not going to remember anybody's names because there's so much names to remember, you know. And one thing he always told us growing up was when we were little, my parents separated when we were small. So him knowing that we would be with my mom and my grandparents, he would always say, hey, guys better not screw up because I get plenty of eyes. Better not do anything wrong because I'll find out. And obviously looking around here, this guy had plenty of eyes on us. It was crazy because every time we go surf to a different beach, north side, west side, like, oh, you China's kids, or you China's son, oh, hey, tell your father I said hi. You know, we got older, we go to the clubs, we go to the bars, down the concerts, telling me, oh, look at my, oh, you China's son, oh, yeah, bang, no need pay, oh, hey, I don't take some. And then the bartenders and the waitresses is like, oh, yeah, I know your father, this and that. I was like, oh, man. And it's still happening to this day. So the amount of friends he had was just mind-boggling. I mean, the amount of friends he had was crazy because this guy is not, by all means, he's not rich. He was never rich. Sometimes he might have acted like it when he was in the bar buying everybody's drinks. I don't know how he paid for it. I don't want to know. But I can tell you right now, this guy was not rich. When Dad passed, I told Kono, okay, so we got to look at, you know, the logistics of things. Okay, how much money did Dad get? I was like, oh, shit. Everybody would get a bottle of water and thank you for coming. But yeah, I mean, you know, all of you being here, the fact that he no more money, I mean, not no money, but he's not rich, you know what I mean? That you guys loved him for him. And strictly that shows me a lot. And that's something that I learned from him, is that to be friend rich is way better than being money rich.
Okay, anak ko. I get two more. Okay, the second one is his loyalty. Um, like some of the other guys said, he had that old school mentality, and to see the loyalty that he had with his friends. We come down here. We grew up over here at the park. He had his longboard club friends. He had his west side friends, his north shore. He had friends all over, you know. And to see him jump at a phone call's notice to go help somebody, or if they needed something, whether it was legal or illegal, he could find it and he helped them out. You know what I mean? But the loyalty he had between him and his friends is something that I will never forget, and something that I will make sure to carry on in myself and the traits that I have. And the last one is, like some people already touched on, is he always put other people first. Whether he had, if he had, like Uncle Butch said, if he had, he give. He would get stuff from his sponsors. If he had them in his van, you needed something, he'd give them to you. If you needed something and he thought you deserved it, he would go get it and he would give it to you. And that's something that I'll always remember. After he passed, we started getting a lot of messages on social media. A lot of people we've never met, I didn't even know, but they would share their stories with Dad. One story that really stuck out in my mind was a friend of his from elementary time. I guess they were neighbors living in the same apartment, and they were like, I think the guy said he was like a couple years younger. He might even be here. If you are, please come say hi. But he said, your dad from day one would walk him, because he was smaller, he was younger. He would walk him to school and home from school every day. And he remember Dad telling his mom, when the mom asked my dad, "Oh, you sure you got him?" And he remembers my dad telling his mom, "No worry, Auntie, I got him." Basically, he's gonna watch over him as he goes to school and comes home from school. So that shows me that even from a young age, Dad was already watching over people, taking care of the younger, smaller kids that maybe would have got picked on and stuff like that. Also, another memory I have of Dad taking care of his friends was when he used to work with Uncle Koki on the movie set. He had a craft service. It was pretty simple setup. You go pick up the food in the morning, set it up for the crew, clean up at the end. But he would always have his friends who maybe just came out of jail or never had a job, and they kind of needed, something to get back on their feet. So he would have them come and help out, and I would help out my dad once in a while. And there was a couple times where I remember I seen the uncle come, he would help out, then he would be gone, and then he would come back, help out again. And then there was one time that one uncle was supposed to come and help out, but he didn't show up, and we started at 4 o'clock in the morning. So Dad was all mad, kind of irritated. We went on through the day, we got stuff done. And, later when kind of everything settled down during work, I asked him, I was like, "Hey, Dad, uncle don't show up, just let him go already." Like, in a sense of, fire him. Like, you're gonna need somebody that's trustworthy, that can come to work every day, can be there. And he said to me, "You don't understand what uncle's going through, because he just came out of jail. He doesn't have anything, so I'm gonna be here for him. He needs a job, I'm gonna give him a job." And that's kind of what I saw my dad do time and time again. Was because of his experiences in the past, he could relate to a lot of people on a different level. Through his bad boy days, through his rough days, he could relate to a lot of people on that level and know the kind of need that they help when they're trying to make it back into a normal day of life. So that was a big learning thing for me to learn from him, is to just take care of the people that gonna need help. If they need it, just give them the help, because we can, you know. In closing, I just want to say that we'll carry on your legacy as best we can for the years to come. And I know before he got hurt, you know, he was trying to figure out something that would make him happy. I think it was that one of his friends or one of the guys at church asked him, "What makes you happy? What makes you the most happy in life?" And he said his contest. And so we had already talked about it. We were like, "Hey, okay, let's try to bring it back. You know, let's talk about it. You know, we gotta figure out the logistics since a lot of stuff changed." And then everything happened. So with that said, Dad, don't worry, we'll be bringing it back within the next couple of years. We'll carry on the legacy. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for taking the time out of your early morning today. I know it was early. Just thank you for always being there for Dad. Thank you.
Aloha. Aloha. I'm just gonna do a short summary and brief explanation of what we're gonna be doing, so all of you guys can have some kind of understanding of what's going on in this ceremony that we're about to partake in. First of all, I just wanted to say it was so nice to see all of you guys here today. I come from the time of Bonga Perkins, and during that time, we all looked up to him, and he was beating the guys like Lance O'Connor at, what, 15 years old. I can say that now because Lance is behaving today. But that was our time when we were kids. I mean, you young kids here, I see Kaniela Stewart here. That was our Bonga, and Bonga was our Rabbit Kikai, or whoever the generation before that. So mahalo for that. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be sending out Uncle China in his va'a that he created. The first oli I'm going to be doing for you folks, for this place, Ala Moana, for this beach, for the ocean, for the wind that is blowing in our face, is Kauka Hali'a. Kauka Hali'a invites everything up from the mountains. Come join us Makai people here, us ocean people here. We're going to do something very special right now. The second thing that's going to happen is you're going to hear these girls oli. Their oli is just to tell this place, tell this wind, tell all of you guys and Uncle China who they are and where they come from, what family they come from Hula, and why they belong here right now. The hula we're going to be doing today is kumako. It's about a va'a, more than a va'a. It's about Pele and her ohana coming from Kahiki, all the way from Kahiki in one canoe. And in this canoe, they had all their family in this canoe. Young ones, old ones, everybody was inside. One very important one had one unborn baby inside this canoe. They had to get all the way from Kahiki, all the way to Hawaii in this canoe. And everybody had to get there safely, because everybody had kuleana once they reached this island. They had kuleana to make this place special, this place that we call home, yeah? So with that being said, Kamoali'i, his oldest brother, was a master waterman, a master navigator. He was the best at his time. He took charge of that canoe and sailed that canoe all the way to Hawaii. Just before they made it back to Hawaii, it was a long journey. They was getting slammed by waves, little ones, old ones. They had calm seas, had rough seas, all kinds of stuff going on. Kamali made sure that he would figure out and find a way to get here.
They got close to Kauai, way off Niihau, you know, all those small islands. Nobody lived on it. And the youngest brother came out of the canoe because he was restless. He's been on the ocean for so many months, yeah. He ran around on the island and Kamali, the navigator of that canoe, said, "Brah, we're here for do a mission. We're not here for play." He went, take off. Almost reaching the next major island, Pele and her sisters and the rest of the ohana said, "Hey, brother, we know you're the master and the steerman of this canoe. We know we owe your life, our lives to you, but you gotta go pick up our brother." And he said, "You're not following the rules. That's what happens." And they said, "No, go pick him up." The goal was, we're gonna go in this canoe and we're gonna all make them there because we gotta make them there as a family. We all gotta make them there because we all get kuleana when we get to Hawaii. He went turn around, crack his paddle. All you far people, you know, turn that canoe around and crack his paddle in the ocean. The canoe and turn around and pick up the brother. They all made it safe to Hawaii. They all took on their kuleanas, and this is what we have today. We have people like Uncle China today because of that. This is what China did for us. Created one big va'a. And this va'a, he made sure all these years he had his context. And nobody's felt like they was left behind. It was an inclusive contest. This contest at Waikiki, families came. And not just the best from the family went enter. The entire family went enter, even the one that knew he wasn't going to make the final. Why? Because this contest came so special that it became more than just a contest. It became, for a lot of us, the closest thing to we had called tradition. All of us from Waikiki, I guess, people are a little bit, and I feel like I can speak for all of us. What Uncle Chapina for all of us, kind of going off the subject, but as I was asked to do it by Uncle China, I see him and I told him, yeah, I got him. And he told me, yeah, I got you, and it kind of radiates what Kiko said. But I was preparing to do something for him. And I was looking through the books and all these archives and came across this place in the book where it was talking about this story. And this husband and wife came to this town and nobody was in the village. Everybody was gone. The stoves was off, you know. Everything was gone. Nobody was pounding copper. The village was quiet. Something's wrong. They went to the next village. Gone. The other village gone. They went to the shoreline, and sure enough, that's where everybody was. It was on the shoreline. This is written in our history books. Everybody was on the shoreline. What was happening on the shoreline was the waves was up. And everybody went to the shoreline to go watch everybody surf on whatever they could. Chiefs was riding the big long boards. If you wasn't one chief, you was riding one smaller whatever board. But everybody was surfing out there, and if you wasn't surfing, you was on the beach, cheering for the people surfing. And if you wasn't cheering, you was chanting for the waves get bigger. And if you wasn't chanting, you was cooking and making luau for everybody to feel comfortable at the beach so they can enjoy themselves. They was chanting, singing, hula, eating, all because they wanted to have a good time. At the beach, there was people looking for lifetime learners. There was kids being created that day because of this feeling on the beach, this enticing. So it's one thing to look at a text like this and create and choreograph a hula or chant it, and and be like, wow, that was awesome. But it's another thing to have lived it, and please remind yourselves that we all have lived it. We lived it because Uncle China, with him providing this space for us at Waikiki, this space was just like what we said, what I read in the book, in the text of Old Hawaii, when it was Hawaiians doing what they felt was instinctively innate now in them to do, was to go enjoy themselves because the elements out there call for it. That's what we did. And yeah, the exact same thing happened. Was there surfing? Yeah, by the best. But not just by the best. Because Uncle China invited everybody to his contest. Was there singing? Yeah, I remember at a very young age. I'm sure there was groups before that, but Kapena was singing Call Crater Boys. I remember Ruby Pakalau. Such sweet memories. Was there dancing? Heck yeah, there was dancing. I remember, Auntie Laverne, JP's mom and Uncle Herbie's mom, she was dancing and everybody, you guys remember that, right? She would be dancing and we would all get up and dance. We was all dancing. Was there chanting going on? I remember Troy. You guys remember him? He would be rapping. So all of these things was going on. And unconsciously, Uncle China was providing us with this space that Waikiki really needed, because for hundreds of years, this is the closest Waikiki has ever got to an ancient space. Yeah. Yeah, we have Hawaiians singing in hotels and stuff. But rarely do we on Waikiki, with this much people, Hawaiians, non-Hawaiians, all being Hawaiian that day and enjoying what we're supposed to be enjoying as each other. So back to the canoe, yeah. We cannot forget everybody, and Uncle China didn't forget everybody. He just made his contest bigger and bigger. When I first started entering, just like Dwayne, I think it was Dwayne and I and Simon Milowski, rest in peace, great surfer. We were competing against the guys in the 29 and under, and we were like all of 14 years old. Planning circles around them, getting scolding by them. But we did it for many years until one year he opened up a 19 and under division. And that's where we met like Travis Hashimoto from the beach, and he was like, wow, there's more other young boarders that rip like us, you know? We met Mike Mullen and all these other young ones. And before you know it, there was a bunch of us. The ladies, they had women's open. Next thing you know, it's inclusive. Everybody's invited. And the last thing that reminded me that was really inclusive, and he really wanted to see everybody to get a chance to win, is if you're good at longboarding and top competitor throughout your time, then you knew that on Saturday, round 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4, depends how good you are. Easy peasy. That's not easy. 2, 3, 4 rounds. Everybody gonna enter, but we're all in the mix. And all us guys who were at that level, yeah, we made it to the finals. But never had nobody else that wasn't somebody or wasn't making a name for himself in that 6-man final. And we used to take that for granted. Yeah? We party Friday night. And no worries, Saturday morning, yeah, early heat, but easy one. Right, Lance? And sure enough, Uncle China went teach us a really good lesson, because Saturday morning, I remember rolling up, getting there at 7 o'clock, no need to even practice, you know, no need to go in the water, no need to practice, get them. In my heat, I get like people like, first 2 heats get like Lance, Bonga, or everybody who is making something out of themselves through longboarding. First 2 heats, stat, the best 12 people in the contest. Yes, and that was Uncle China's way of saying, bruh, my contest is not like everybody else's contest. My contest is for everybody, yeah. And so we all learned that from him, like, hey, you gotta include everybody, you know, leave nobody behind, just like the melee that we're gonna dance. The last thing the second thing we're gonna do a procession to the beach. And when we do that, I just wanted everybody to participate in this. We're trying to make this canoe, his canoe, go to the ocean and go to his, you know, to where he's supposed to be. And I want everybody to lend their leos, your voices, and if we can all say, it's a really easy one, hoi, 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 kava'ae. Hoi, 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 kava'ae. Yeah. And so we can all get that, and we all gonna help him take his canoe that he created up for us to the ocean. When we get to the ocean, we're going to do the most important hula, which is a hula ma'i. And this hula ma'i is for procreation. You know, we all know what that is, but more importantly, it's to make sure, or to, yeah, this mele ensures that his legacy will be way more fruitful than his physical being, yeah. And we gotta give that to these people who have the kuleana of his legacy. And when it's time, we all here have a kuleana to support this legacy, this va'a, from continuing to move it. Let's not leave it in this ocean today. The last chant we're gonna do is Kele Maila. It's a beautiful chant. It's a chant that says we're just gonna give you a makana, a lei. So when we get to the shoreline, the family and us are going to be in the middle, but if everybody could like get onto the shoreline edge and line up on the shoreline like on big Maile lei, from courts to big rights. You guys know Uncle Chana loved wearing his Maile leis, right? But I think it would be so close to touching the ground. I remember when I was a kid, we would just watch him and his leg, he would just be moving and the leg almost touch the ground, almost step on the get him, you know. But yeah, so we're gonna make his Maile lei. And then as you see the kids, his kids and family scatter the flowers, you guys can go ahead and scatter yours at the same time. They're gonna come back and we're gonna join hands and sing Hawaii Aloha as one Maile on the shoreline. Got it. Chee-hoo, let's get this stuff going. Right on. Aloha. Oh. So we're gonna do a procession, and the girls are gonna do their hula on the second lawn over there, the second lawn over. Okay? So we're gonna start the procession. If you guys can either go over there or you guys can follow us to the spot. And then two people, yeah. Mahalo.
Also, one more thing for everyone that's parked. It's been requested to please move your vehicles. Thank you.
Everybody's busy and I heard. Just got back the other day.
He sent me back. He sent me back home.
The canoe. Yeah.
Pretty, can you hear me?
You want to change your mic?
Wait, hold up. That's scary. That was awesome. The whole message.
I saw this side. He's party. It comes to the shape. Hey, hey. Oh, man. Hey, I'm old already. I watch, I cheer for everybody now.
Where's our pool blowers? Honey Kapoo. Honey Kapoo. Is it coming? Yeah. That's it. We'll go in the shade and
Put this on really fast. Oh, sorry, not put them on. It did, but the thing is not working, but that's okay. Check.
Kumako ele me kumau poki I aloha kaina mako ike ole ai malalo aku nei. A e mako me kuupoki kau I kawa ano ia tau e tamo ali ia e kau I kanalu e nalu haki ka kalai e nalu e imi ana e hiki aku ai o di hoa kaina pai mua aku ai. Lele e mako yukani hoa no ka hanu no ku po ki o ka ihu o ka waa nau I ke kai. Oi uka o ni hoa no ia tau e tamu ali ia pai kai nei ka pai o le hu ai. Kumako ele me kumau poki I aloha kaina mako ike ole ai malalo aku nei. Ai mako me kupoki kau I ka waa no ia tau e tamoho ali. E kau I kanalu e nalu haki ka kalai e nalu e imiana e hiki aku ai o ni hoa ka aina pai mua aku ai lele e mako I ukani hoa no ka hanu no aku upoki o ka ihu o ka waa no I ke kai wai hoa ne tamu hoa li ia ka ne apua o e uka o ni hoa. No ia tau e tamoho ali ia pai kaina I ka pai o le hu hai. Hoi! 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 Kawa'ae! 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 Holo ma mua! Holo ma hope! Holo aku holo e! Hoi! 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 Kawa'ae! Hoi! Hoi! Kawa'ae! Hoi! 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 Kawa'ae! Hoi! 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 Kawa'ae! Hoi! 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 Kawa'ae! Hoi! 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 Kawa'ae! Hoi! Kawa'ae! Oi! Oi! Holoe! Kawai! Ohama! Holoe! Oi, Paulo. E Hawaii, aloha. E haoli na o. Makani e pamaine, au ke aloha, aloha mai, e hau, maine, e oli e, oli oli e, mai na e ai e pamaine, au ke aloha.